Yes, sir. You already know we made it. This is the Ball Knowers Pod, and we made it to the NFL playoffs of the 2024-2025 season. The last week of the NFL was mid at the absolute best, and frankly, I kind of feel the same way about this first round of the playoffs, but we're here to talk about it. There was a couple upsets, I guess, if you're talking about Vegas upsets per se, but majority of lopsided games, similar to that first round of the college football playoffs, if you like that. But before we get into it, were you guys able to catch a lot of the games? Did you guys enjoy your weekend watching some playoff football? Minus Green Bay, Joller?
I loved every minute of the football because I love football. And I'm a football guy, and I loved it. Yeah, man, I loved it. Football's the best.
I was watching Denver, Buffalo, and the beginning was awesome, and then the end sucked.
The most blue balls game, dude.
Yeah. So, definitely a lot of lopsided games. We'll talk about them in all. This is a chron pod, so we'll touch on them chronologically. Yeah, I'm definitely down to jump right in it. Joller and I's AFC pick, man, rolls on. The Houston Texans never a fucking doubt.
Never a doubt.
So I was gonna actually come on here.
You just had to give a little motivation.
I was gonna give you both the opportunity to reclaim them right now. You have to do it now, though.
Oh no, not now.
No,
I never wavered.
They're still.
I've never wavered.
Yeah,
they're beating Kansas City.
But the house.
Anyways, Houston hosts the Chargers in this one. Chargers were favored going into this game. Rightfully so. Texans kind of finished the most mid of all season, sophomore slump. Won the division, because the division's absolute dog shit. They host a playoff game, and they weren't even favored. I think the line closed at -2.5 in favor of the Chargers, and this game was 10-6. So it still was anyone's game, but it was went absolutely downhill for the Chargers offense. Justin Herbert ends up throwing 4 picks. He has that one touchdown to Ladd McConkey, and I was like, oh, hell yeah. They're going to get back in this baby. Let's go. And they fucking return the field goal or the point after for 2 points. That fucking never happens. Never.
Yeah, tough day for Jay Herbs. Someone on the internet coined him a social media quarterback. I don't know where that started or what that means. Maybe someone can enlighten me. But yeah, he had a bad day, unfortunately. I like Herbert. I thought the Chargers would win. But yeah, it was just ugly. It was an ugly day.
They were worse in every single stat category that you could have, except for penalties.
Didn't Herbert have more interceptions in that game than the entire season?
Yeah,
it's the first time.
Season.
It's the first time to ever happen where a quarterback throws more interceptions in a playoff game than they had all season long.
God, that's such a Chargers stat, I feel like. That could only happen to the Chargers, right? Tough. Hate to see it. Yeah, it's bad.
Dang, and new signing Ezekiel Elliott. 0 carries for 0 yards. Respect.
Yeah, what was up with that, dude? I was waiting for that, and it never happened.
If they just would have put him in, they probably would have won.
Honestly.
That could have been the difference, but, too little, too late.
Joe Mixon looked pretty good, which I think is kind of the upside for Houston on kind of flipping to the winning team. Texans took care of it 32-12. They scored 12 points in the fourth and then 10 points in the third to take advantage and run away with it. Stroud looked good, pretty decent, not like a crazy, amazing offensive performance for him. Really bad either. Threw for over 280, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and then Joe Mixon had over 100 yards too, which was nice. But Nico Collins stepped it up, man. 7 catches, 120, and the touchdown. Obviously no Tank Dell because he's, won't be able to walk ever. And then no Stephon Diggs. So someone's got to step up.
What a
And
graceful transition.
Nico Collins definitely stepped up, and I was thinking, if the Texans are going to make a run, or if they were even going to win this game, someone would have to be huge, and Nico Collins got it done, and obviously the defense I think is more impressive to pick off two. Somebody had 2 picks, if I'm not mistaken. It was Derek Stingley Jr. had 2 of Herbert's 4 interceptions.
Shout out Deontay Johnson real quick. Contributing, getting that 1 catch for 12 yards, and then being released after a playoff win. Tough luck for the kid.
Savage.
Hate to see it. Just wanted to point that out. I saw they released him after a playoff win, which seems kind of like bad luck, Like, how much does it hurt you carrying him on the roster? You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's just me. Just my take.
No, it was funny. But it was funny because I saw some stat. I was like, oh, Derek Stingley Jr. had more catches from Herbert than Tucker Fisk, DJ Chark, Darius Davis, J.K. Dobbins, Hassan Haskins, and Quentin Johnston, the fucking worst wide receiver. 5 targets, 0 catches for Quentin Johnston.
Seriously.
His mom's got to go back to work. Starters down bad, lose 32-12 in Harbaugh's first season back in the NFL and first season as the Chargers head coach. I pegged them to win this game, and I didn't really peg them to make a huge run in the playoffs, but because this was their first game, I was like, oh, the Texans have, been very, very abysmal this whole season. I thought this one the Chargers could definitely take away from them, but Texans took care of it at home, 32-12. So
you know why the Chargers really lost? Like the real reason they lost was trading Keenan Allen to the Bears for a 4th-round pick. That's why they lost this game. But no one wants to really talk about that, Shameful.
Does he want to go back?
He's rotting on the couch, dude, watching the Chargers just blow ass, dude. It's karma.
Didn't he say if he left Chicago, he would go back to the
he
Chargers?
Is Chicago. There's no way he's back. He's over it. Yeah, I saw like a headline that he was open to coming back, and I'm like, I mean, whatever. But like with the Chargers, it's a bad look if the Chargers sign him. I think because they gotta get young talent in there. But no, they never should have let him go. Is what I'm saying. But like to sign him now, it's like I don't know. Very hypocritical.
What did they win last year? 5 games? Was it 5 games last year?
It was more than that, but
I think this is the worst they're going to be, though.
I agree.
Yeah, if they get like some stud, they need like a go-to number 1 guy, and then they could be
only year
really
1.
good in the Harbaugh era. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
So I think next year they're
think
probably competing for the division.
I mean, if a couple games went their way, if they were able to steal one of those Chiefs games, man, I mean, they could have fought for it this year, depending. But no, I think it looks good for them. I didn't expect them to make the playoffs, in all honesty, but the fact they were with their defense, top number 1 defense in the league for the first 12, 13, 14 weeks of the season, just kind of Harbaugh's go-to. It's good to see. So only uphill for them. Props to them, but I would love to see them compete with Denver and KC for the division next year. I think that would be awesome.
It'll be fun, actually, thinking about that, because Denver should be better too.
Yeah, no, I agree. So definitely be fun, but Houston moves on, and once we kind of touch base on all these games, we'll go into the matchups. But Houston does move on to face KC, so we'll definitely touch upon that one. The second game on that Saturday was also very abysmal. Pittsburgh Steelers go into Baltimore. Baltimore definitely handles business, and it was all bad news for Mike Tomlin. And Ravens come away with the win 28-14. This game was not close, I felt like, at all. I mean, 2 scores still the win, but watching it was embarrassing. Should have put Fields in.
What was the spread?
Honestly.
Like 9.5?
I can tell you what it closed
like the biggest spread of the
8.5. Yeah, it closed at about 9.
8.5. Okay. Classic Mike
Raven
Tomlin year. Winning
Steelers
record,
finish.
wild card loss.
Steelers finish losing their last 5 games of the season. That is terrible.
Down bad. Not the first time in this decade, or this past decade, the Steelers had a monumental December collapse. What was it, a few years ago when they were like 11-0, 10-0, and they lost the
Lost
last
to
like
Baker,
5 or 6 games.
baby.
And you knew they were gonna get shit on in the playoffs, and that's exactly what happened.
Baker.
But Mike Tomlin didn't have a losing record, so another year with a winning record, another Mike Tomlin year. He's safe from the axe. No,
yes.
they won't. Can they? Absolutely. Will they? No.
Who's more fireable, Kyle Shanahan or Mike Tomlin? Zach.
Zach's like, send Kyle Shanahan straight to hell. He hates. There's no one under the sun who hates Kyle Shanahan more than Zach. But
I want Shanahan done more than Tomlin.
Shanahan had the injury card though. He gets to pull that out.
Yeah.
Okay.
He is overrated. I mean, we say that every week, but I don't think Tomlin's going to get fired because the Steelers have had like 4 coaches in 100 years or some shit like that.
That is true.
I think it's hard too because they've been playing kind of quarterback carousel too, you know? So he hasn't had like a couple of years with, I mean, Kenny Pickett was, you know.
Yeah, so can you blame him?
And then, you know, Russ had a stretch where he was playing well, right? And then just wasn't playing great the last like week or two. Yeah, I guess a couple weeks, but I think with they need to play Justin Fields next year. I mean, they traded for him, right?
Under contract next year?
Oh, is he a free agent too? Oh yeah, I don't know. This is with your option or whatever. Shoot, never mind. Maybe they might be SOL if Justin Fields. You know what? Justin Fields, I feel like I don't know what the market's like, but Pittsburgh is a good situation for him. I think like the roster's good. He can contend. He was playing well. He obviously could go somewhere else, but I think if he wants to start, Pittsburgh's probably the best chance he has. And Mike Tomlin likes him, so I think they got to run it with Justin Fields next year. And then if it's like all bad, maybe they could move off of him and fire Tomlin and blow it up. But
Sam Darnold,
just put the fries in the bag, bro.
Hell.
Has anyone played their way out of a contract worse in 2 weeks than Sam Darnold? Are we segueing into that game already, or what?
It was pretty bad.
Well,
Ghost,
he did get sacked 9 times. They probably all.
He held on to the ball
fault.
like a minute.
I get that. On him too, for sure.
You know, it was embarrassing. Dude, the Ravens Steelers, this game was 21-0, obviously at half. And then it was 21-7, 28-7. And then they scored late in the third quarter. No scoring in the fourth, so it was pretty boring game after that. Steelers had 2 first downs in the first half. 2 first downs.
Yeah, that's bad.
Like, if that's not like a telltale of like, dude, we got to change something up. Najee Harris had 17 total yards this game.
Adds up.
17 rushing yards, excuse me. Like, and I get once you're down, you're not going to run the ball as much. I get that. But holy shit, you can't establish a run in freaking a quarter and a half. 2 first downs in 30 minutes of football.
You only had 11 rushing plays.
Yeah,
so that kind of goes. As you were saying, on the flip side, how many rushing plays did the Ravens have? Kristen?
Oh yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. They had 50. No, it was more. It was 50. Yeah, they had 50 running 21. Plays. I think they. Seriously, what do you have? Like
the worst guy, dude. You can't fill that out before the show.
You have a bucket of ice in there.
There's a little mute button. It worked.
You thought wrong, Colonel Sanders.
The Ravens, dude, they could go. Like, they definitely could go all the way.
He's calling it.
If they just run the ball, if they just do that. What is that?
Derrick Henry is a bad man. He's a linebacker who can, with running back speed.
26 carries, 186 yards, dude. grown man.
Yeah, he's yeah. The Ravens look good. No surprise there. I'm looking forward to Ravens Bills probably as much as the Super Bowl, to be honest, because I picture who could come out of the NFC, and it obviously can be a great game, but I think this game could be like as good of entertainment value as the actual Super Bowl.
A lot of people are saying this is the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
like whoever wins
it
this,
might be,
but it's not though. It's the division. It's the Super Bowl. It's the division.
But like they think it might be.
Well, speaking of Buffalo, the first game of Sunday, they did take on our Bo Nix and Broncos at home. Broncos scored quick, man. They were up 7-0, and I was like, holy shit.
Dude, that opening drive, those two throws
nails.
Were like
that touchdown pass was a freaking dot.
It was crazy, dude. That they weren't supposed to be close in this game anyways. And Denver's like 2 years ahead right now. So I think their future is like super promising.
Yeah, they got what, like 90 million dead cap right now, like the worst in the league by far.
They made the playoffs.
It is the worst in the league.
And they look like a competent team. Well, I mean, they got kind of shit on, but like, yeah, just making the playoffs was a win, you know? Like this game was like playing with house money. It's just for fun. Just for funsies.
100%. Definitely playing with house money. They weren't supposed to be here. They weren't supposed to be this good. I mean, it's rare to see one rookie take the playoffs, let alone obviously two, and we'll get to Jaden Daniels. But, I mean, if you're going to come out and score real quick, too, like kind of shocked the world real quick. I was like, holy shit, no way.
I was like, oh, shit. Like, is this going to be are we going to have like a game? You know what I mean? But it should have been 10-10 at half, too.
Yeah, it was.
You know?
Should have been close at half, yeah.
They don't miss that field goal. It's 10-10. It would have been 10-10 at half if the Broncos don't miss the field goal. And so, yeah, it was a game until the second half.
It just kind of got away from Denver. They just got outlasted.
Yeah, it was like expected. They didn't go up. They would have been up 21-10 to start the fourth quarter, which is still like a game.
Mm-hmm.
And this is supposed to be the team that is gonna blow them out, which eventually they did, but I don't know. They stuck around for a long time. I feel like
it wasn't a really like impressive first half from the Bills. You're kind of like, I don't want to say you felt like they were going to lose, but it was kind of like the longer the Bills like didn't score, you're just like, man, like they're at home, like there's huge favorites, like supposed to blow this team out, and like they're totally hanging with the Broncos. Like, the Broncos are totally hanging with them. I was like, crap, could the Bills like lose this game? Like that first half, it felt like, holy shit, like there's a possibility this could totally happen. And I wouldn't really want Denver to win because I knew they weren't going to make a deep run, really. But I'm not gonna lie, that thought crossed my mind, like, could they pull this off right now? Because they just kind of held off Buffalo for so long that it was like the longer they hold off Buffalo, the more and more pressure's on Buffalo. It's all on them.
I think that that long drive they had, like near the end of the third quarter, when they scored the touchdown on fourth down, they went for two. I think that kind of put it away. It was a 6-minute drive they gave up, and then go up 2 scores, and now they only have like basically 1 quarter left because they took 6 minutes out of that third. That was kind of it, but that's literally almost 3 full quarters of hanging with one of the best, if not the best team in the NFL as a rookie, and as a team that shouldn't be there, with Javonte Williams and Jordan Humphreys as your running back crew. Like, that's impressive.
Bo Nix leading in rushing yards.
Yeah,
and
that's wild.
Yeah, that was wild.
He also led in passing yards over for the Denver Broncos. That's weird.
No way.
You heard it here first. Breaking news.
Yeah, I thought Javonte Williams would have led in passing yards.
Dude, that punter threw a freaking dime, though. I respect it.
Yeah, that the fake punt call, too.
That was hard.
Balls.
Nails, dude.
It didn't amount to anything, but it was still
I wish it did. Would have been way better.
Yeah, it pissed me off.
Yeah.
They blew it. That's how it goes.
But But Buffalo takes care of business. We'll definitely see Denver there, and as we mentioned before, that division AFC West will be a lot of fun. I'm curious if the Denver is able to make any offseason moves. I mean, they have really no one. Cortland Sutton, had a sneaky good season though, which was cool. He's always been that odd kind of number two-ish receiver. He could be a number two on any team, but obviously now he's number one, in Denver. So we'll see if he kind of steps it up still and improves or just kind of builds off of this year, which would be cool. Yeah, and now the Bills play. I think Denver goes in the offseason looking good, like happy with them, and then Bills, as being one of the Super Bowl favorites, takes on the Ravens. So we'll get into that one a little bit. But the middle game on Sunday, Joller, I'll let you take this one. How
I
Eagles
love
and the
football.
Packers. Eagles Packers. I'm not sure who's more sad boy about this one. Justin, is it you or Joller?
Oh, I'm definitely. I'm not buying
I'm
into
more
this
pissed.
false
I'm not
narrative.
sad.
I'm not buying into the false narrative that Justin's more upset than me. Yeah,
If
I've
I
had.
would have been watching the whole game, I'd be a lot more upset.
Oh
But I turned it
yeah,
off.
yeah. I believe that. I had a little time to digest and chew on it. First of all, I'll admit the Packers had glimpses the whole season, like pieces of being really, really good, and thinking like, okay, this team like could actually contend. And then like the very next week, they barely beat a crappy team. So it was kind of like being edged the whole season. I mean, we talked.
God. No, keep going. Let's see where this ends up.
Yeah.
It's the first thing. It's a roll off my tongue. But yeah, they've like we said, they haven't beaten anybody good, right? They sneakily won a few games. A blocked field goal against the Bears the first time. Two field goals the week after. Like that's 3 wins that could have easily been losses. This team was never like confidently like solidly good. I think besides the winning record. Um, Jordan Love, bad showing, straight up. Just not good. A bad start to the game, the fumble. We can talk about the recovery and they missed it, whatever. You still can't fumble the ball on the first return of the game. It was just a lot of dumb stuff. To summarize it, I think what's most frustrating, is I don't think the Eagles played that great of a game, to be honest. They really did. They were totally beatable. The Packers just had stupid mistakes. Left tackle goes down, and there's like 400 holds after that, and it's just like, the signs were everywhere. It was just like surviving until it was over, and it was just not good. But kind of upset at Jordan Love's bad game, to be honest. That's kind of like a big thing I'm thinking about. Not whether he's like the guy, but just kind of like, hey man, that was like a really shitty performance. That's not what you want to see. But Eagles are the better team. There wasn't anything like a stupid bullshit call they lost by, but I think what's most frustrating is just that Eagles did not play a good game, and that game was winnable, and stupid mistakes the way you lost. It wasn't.
Josh Jacobs was the only one that came to play because he looked like a grown man.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs. Yeah, he's the man. Disappointed. I did want to point out. Quick note: the Packers have lost back to back as the 7th seed 2 years in a row, and if we were in the old playoff format, that means they would have missed the playoffs the last 2 years. So, is Matt LaFleur LaFraud or
Ooh, I like
or
that.
no
Isn't that what you said?
storyline for the off season? I was reading on the Packers interwebs certain things, and that stood out to me. So yeah, we'll see. Next year's huge.
Do you think that?
Next year's massive. I think Matt LaFleur can call a really good game. I also think when he has a microscopic amount of pressure, he gets way too cute tries to be Shanahan 2.0 and fails miserably every time. So if he deviates from a game plan, or you can just see the panic like in his face and the play calling. It's just like when they're down, they don't bounce back well, and that's kind of been a thing for years now. I'm not all the way out on Matt LaFleur, but I'm like, if this happens again this time next year, you're all the way out. You can't win a million games in 4 years and like not make it out of the wild card. You know what I mean?
Didn't they beat Dallas
Dallas
in the wild card?
Last year, yeah.
last year.
That's what he said. But he said
I think
last.
what he meant by out as 7 seed
Oh,
was
gotcha. Yes. You
just
wouldn't made
like,
it. You would have
you
made
know,
it.
wouldn't have
Yeah,
made
you
the
wouldn't have made
playoffs.
it under normal
Okay.
I got that too, Zach.
Sorry.
half the league, making the playoffs is a joke. But yeah, but the point still stands. Like you could have easily, had they not changed that, you would have missed the playoffs 2 years in a row, and now you're having a much different conversation going into this season. Last thing I wanted to point out, a lot of people were saying like, the Packers don't have like a true number one wide receiver, and that's kind of true. I think if they can get like some stud number one, it could really put them over the edge, because Christian Watson was not number one, even though he got hurt. He's just like a track
Yeah, like
star.
how much did that hurt them?
I mean, I think it limits the offense, right? But I mean, everyone in the division has you got Jay Jettas and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and there's a lot of like star wide receivers that everyone has. I guess you could say DJ Moore, and the Bears have like a go-to guy, right? And the Packers have a couple late pick undrafted guys who've played well, but you don't have like a dominant number one guy like Devontae Adams was. I'd call Jordy, see what he's doing at 39 years old or whatever he is now.
Devontae?
I was reading something about Devontae possibly coming back. I think that's complete headline nonsense. But Donald Driver's kid's about to get drafted, dude. Look at him holding his shit, though. Oh God! If you know, you know. Fuck you, Gumby. I don't know. I think we need a number one guy, honestly. And the snake could get blown all the way open.
Packers are historically known for like not drafting skill positions in the first round, though, right?
Correct.
So you'll probably draft
the first skill position player drafted in the first round offensively was Jordan Love, 2019 or whatever it was.
You still had Rodgers there in his
with 4 years left. That was the one skill position player they drafted in the first round in the entire Rodgers era. What a slap in the face!
Gutekunst, man.
Yeah, Gutekunst. I don't know, man. Team's got a bright future, I think, but got to get number one. I mean, this is not even technically. This is Jordan Love's like second year, like starting. So, but next year's the year, man. Gotta take a leap. Period.
Yeah,
cut down the interceptions. Like decision making's got to improve. I think the biggest critique people are saying is like he doesn't look to be like learning situational awareness and like learning from his mistakes, and has like made kind of the same mistakes through several weeks at a time, and you're kind of like, yeah, it's not like a great trend. So he's got.
He had like a few weeks. He had like a few weeks there, right, where he cleaned it up.
Yeah.
All of December was money. He had like 9 touchdowns, no picks.
Kind of like,
yeah, dude, those stats. You can see he does better when it's the freaking Toyota-thon or whatever. Those stats.
Jordan Love during Toyota-thon is MVP, dude. That's no bullshit. You can look that up.
Dude, Lexus December to remember, baby.
Basically. Zach's got all the no free ads, dude. Get out of here. Yeah, he's had great stretches. It's just one of those things. It's like you got to put it together, and like situationally, right? You're in the playoffs. I mean, the last pick, whatever game was over, but you know what I mean. Got to clean up the picks. Next year's a huge year. That's it, man. It is what it is.
The only thing to kind of cap off, I know you mentioned it, the Eagles didn't look that good. I think I agree. They definitely looked beatable. I mean, it was 16-10 when Josh Jacobs had that monster grown man run to put in, within 6. Now, if you ask any coach, 16-10 going in the fourth, or I guess that touchdown was scored right at the top of the fourth, 16-10 in the whole quarter left, like anyone would take that. That's pretty for a
And the
seven to
Packers
two
missed a
seed.
field goal too, right?
Yeah.
So it would have
So
been way closer. Yeah.
Philly looks really beatable, and if Rams defense can play even
Dude.
half
Dude.
from what they did, Rams,
Taking the Rams.
Dude, the
Rams could do
Rams
some
looked.
Taking the
business.
Rams.
I mean, we'll get to that obviously, but just on a brief blanket statement, the Rams looked immeasurably better this weekend than the Eagles. Non-negotiable.
So no, yeah, that's why. So I think and then that confidence going in too. So we'll see. But we'll get into the matchups for next week. We have 2 more games left for these first round wildcard playoffs. The last one, the Sunday night game, which ironically ended up being the best one probably of the whole weekend. Our boy, the Inland Empire GOAT, Jaden Daniels, goes into Bakertown and beats the Bucks 23-20 on a walk-off field goal. This game was freaking amazing.
First Washington playoff win in 19 years. In perspective, I'm 31 now. I was 12. I was in middle school.
Who was they almost beat? Was it Tom Brady and the Bucks? Who was the quarterback when they almost won? Was it 3 years ago? Who was it? He dove for the pylon. He was scored that touchdown. It was a
So
wild
actually,
card. Who was it?
yeah. That sounds right.
Washington, wild card. It's January 2021, so it was 4 years ago. Heineke, so it was.
Taylor Heineke. Where is Taylor
Yeah.
Heineke? Was he on the Rams?
He was in Atlanta, wasn't he?
He is
that's right.
currently on
This
the
year he was in
Chargers.
Atlanta.
He's on the Chargers.
Could have put him in, dude.
But anyways, this game was crazy. I mean, it was definitely a great back and forth game. Obviously only the field goal in the first quarter, and then Washington kind of goes up. There was 1, 2, 3, 4 lead changes in this game. I mean, that's what you want, right? For any football fan in general, especially for the playoffs going back and forth. Some good defensive plays, some good offensive plays. No interceptions, but Baker did have that big fumble, which he kind of put that up.
Huge, man. Huge.
Definitely was the turning point, I think. He thinks so too, obviously. It was a big turning point. Because then right after that, because they were up by 4, and then Washington comes around and gets the fumble, or recovers that fumble and scores freaking 4 plays later. I will say, though, was it this game? I mean, obviously they won, but twice Dan Quinn didn't take the points.
Yeah.
I'm fucking tired of
Early, too.
Yeah.
So dumb.
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't understand that. I know you won, so the question, there's no one's gonna question that. I am. Because dude, fucking take the points, man. What are you doing? You think it matters going in for on 4th and 4 in the first quarter or whatever it was?
Wasn't it 3-0 and
No.
he's like, I'm not going to take the points or some shit like that? Or
it was 4th and 2.
No, but the score was they were down by 3 and he's
Correct.
like, I'm not going to take the field goal.
Correct. And it was 4th and 2.
In the first quarter, just take the
4th and 2 on Tampa Bay's 20. It's a 30 set. That's almost a point after. It's a 37-yard field goal to tie it up.
I mean, those aren't gimmies anymore, as we're finding out. However, in the first quarter, take the goddamn points, dude.
But how shitty was it? I mean, this one did come down to a field goal.
If we make shirts, we need to make something that says "Take the points."
Seriously,
just take the points. No, that's it.
And then the other time when they didn't take it, they drove down. Tampa Bay was up. Washington was down 4, and it was the 4th and goal stop. That's what it was.
No, they did have one where they converted though.
Correct.
Where they scored the touchdown.
But left 6 points out there on the board still, potentially. I mean, the 4th and goal from the 3 or whatever it was, from the 3, those are gimme points. It's, that's chips out or whatever. So 3 points right there. I mean, again, they won, so whatever. Who cares? Wash your hands of it, whatever. But Those are the decisions that are going to freaking lose you games, especially early. The fuck? Who cares? Why are you going for it?
Yeah. It's kind of like when coaches go for two when you don't have to.
Yeah, I
Like
did that
just
on Madden
because
all the
maybe you
time,
missed an
and I
extra point
always
earlier.
lose.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's just annoying. It's annoying to watch.
I think it shows like people not being there before, like they don't know how to act. You know, like Dan Quinn just chip on the shoulder. I mean, Dan Quinn's
Like,
obviously
oh
been in the
shit, we got
playoffs
to score a touchdown every drive.
multiple times with Atlanta. It's not like he's not like some first time coach or whatever. But I think I don't know. It just seems it's so early in the game and it's so inconsequential. Just take the field goal. You have like the entire game to play. It's like I don't know. It seems obvious, but who knows?
It's going to happen again this week because they're going to feel like um,
We're playing with
they need
house
to hang
money.
with Detroit. Well, that they're not going to be able to stop Detroit's offense. I think more
Hmm.
they're going to be like, oh, we need to score touchdowns.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, Bucks get it done. Dan Quinn gets it done. Jane Daniels looks amazing. His decision-making skills is unparalleled. His throws are great. His runs are great. He's smart with the ball, smart with his legs. Everything you want to see in a rookie quarterback. I mean, you made it to the playoffs, and now are playing the number one seed. So I'm excited to see that
Got that
game.
big gash on his face. He's like,
Hmm.
oh yeah, I didn't even know it was there.
We
He's
uh,
like
my
bleeding all over the place.
my dad texted his dad, and he responded. I was like, "Let's go, baby. Let's get you on the show."
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey,
Facts.
I'm a size large. Can you make it out to my best friend Zach when he signed my jersey, please?" Uh, uh, Washington gets it done. You love to see it. You love to see two IE boys in the divisional round of the playoffs too. Shout out Inland Empire. You already know. Uh, Cajon and Rancho. But Dembe goes in the offseason. You know, they were kind of down bad after losing Atlanta, and Kirk was kind of going hot. They come back, won that division, got a home playoff game. And this is with losing Evans for 4 games, losing Godwin for the season. So I think it was a pretty decent season for them. The only thing that sucks is Godwin's now a free agent and coming off of an injury. Obviously we'll talk about all the teams once the season's over, but it's kind of where they're at right now. So, but they're in a pretty shitty division and a very winnable division, albeit.
Yeah.
So, uh, yeah, good for Washington. We'll see them next week against in Detroit. But to finish off, last game of the playoffs, I'll be honest, I was studying a lot yesterday, so I only caught like the last quarter and a half of this game. But the Rams host the Vikings in Arizona due to the fires in Southern California. If anyone is, side note, hopefully everyone's safe out there. If you do live around there, or if you know anyone that's around there, be safe. But when it comes to football, they didn't move the game, thinking of everyone's safety, and they played in Arizona. And Sam Darnold and the Vikings look like ass.
9 sacks.
Yeah.
It's a record, I think, right? In a
He was
playoff game.
missing wide open guys too. It looked a lot like the Detroit game, and it was kind of like, what the fuck happened? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Between 2 weeks ago when you're on your teammates' shoulders and there's champagne being
That was after the
popped
Packers
everywhere, and
game and they thought they won a Super Bowl.
yeah, and now where it's like, okay, does he get the contract we thought he was going to because of the last 2 weeks?
I'm going to be honest, after that Packers game and then going into week 18 against the Lions, I had a feeling. I was like, you know what? I won't be surprised if Minnesota wins. I had that feeling that, and I looked and I was like, oh, wait, it's in Detroit. Detroit will probably win. But if it was in Minnesota, I would have for sure thought Minnesota was going to win. They were rolling and came back down to earth, man. No other way to say it. I did call it, or Zach was telling me I thought he turned back into a pumpkin, and I was like, nah, man, Sam's played great all season. They've been solid, and no one could have predicted this though. People who
I
just
did.
predicted this are just flat out haters. They're not. He's played
Did
great
he?
all year.
I did. Last week I was like, what are the odds? Is it going to be New York Jets / Panthers Sam Darnold that comes out there because it's playoffs? It's something new for him. It's very possible. And Joller's like, no, dude, Sam Darnold's MVP, baby.
That's not what I said. I said no. I don't think that's going to happen. I said I just don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, he was Jets Darnold seeing ghosts. You see his eyes, dude. He was missing guys left and right, like Justin said. He looked out of
Yeah.
sorts,
Yeah.
just uncomfortable. Like I mean, they couldn't get anything going. Aaron Jones had like under 50 yards. He was averaging like 3 yards a carry, so that's not going to help you out. And he made barely over 50% of his completions attempts or his pass attempts, and yeah, it was bad for the beginning. I feel like it just wasn't. It never felt close. It was just like, holy shit, the Vikings did it again.
Well, no, the Rams went right down. They got the ball, they went right down.
The
Stafford started
spectacular
what,
opening
8 for 8
drive.
or something.
Yeah, he was 8 for 8 touch. He was like 4 for 4 touchdown, something like that.
The
Started
stat
the game
line was like crazy.
8 for 8, like 100 yards touchdown. Like, yeah, Stafford ages like fine wine, man. He was good forever, and
Vintage
now he's
Stafford.
vintage Stafford, just always on a good team now, or has been on a good team. Won a Super Bowl, all the confidence in the world. We talked about this. The Rams are fully healthy, and a healthy Rams team stacked up against this team. Like, I like the Rams in this game. I said it last week. I'm not too surprised. I didn't think they get blown out, but I picked the Rams. But Rams look good, man. Eagles should be worried.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, now kind of shifting over to staying on topic of the Rams. With their defense looking like that, their offense being smart with the ball. I mean, they're going into Philly. So I mean that is a point to make. That home field. Those Philly fans are freaking something else, man. But
Did you see that video?
yeah, people getting
It was
freaking bent
bad.
left
I
and
saw it
right.
today. I didn't see it the other day. I saw it today. It was bad, dude.
If you're
They
a
they
Philly
found that guy
fan,
though.
if you're a Philly fan, you fucking suck. Unless you're nice.
You know what though too. I don't know what the relation to the guy next to him was, who was just like all awkwardly standing there. I'm like, dude, you can't hear something that like foul and just like pretend like you're not in the middle of that.
Hearing
Like, you
it.
got to say something. Like,
It's
dude.
normal. It's normal out there, man. They all talk
But that
like
guy
that.
didn't look
Dude.
like he was with him. He was just like, I'm just here, and I'm just happen to be in the middle of this. You could tell he was awkward, but I'm like, it was really uncalled for. He lost his job, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that the company put out like a statement or whatever, and yeah.
damn. Was he
The
that high
internet
up
is
of a?
undefeated, dude. It is
I love that.
2025, man. I love it too because it's not a tweet from a decade ago or you being immature and stupid. It's like you're a grown ass man on
Yeah.
camera saying just vulgar, heinous things to some innocent bystander
Yeah.
repeatedly. Yeah, I'm glad he got fried. But enough about that fucking bozo. Um,
Well, I mean, that's all Philly fans, so I feel like it's kind of relevant to
It is.
most standard. What I say, I was like most standard Philly fan.
yeah.
Um, but no, Justin mentioned earlier, man. I got the Rams in this one. I think if they,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
do they win this game handily? And Cooper Cup touched the ball
Yes.
one time,
I didn't even catch that at the time. That's
one
insane.
catch. So
How?
we'll
Yeah.
see. And it was their defense just kept them. It's not like it was I mean, they scored 27 points, yeah, but they didn't need to score. They didn't need to score half of that. It's like they were just coasting the whole time from yesterday's game.
Tyler Higbee
So
had a big game.
yeah, and that's good. You want those extra pieces, and anyone, dude, you're getting 9 sacks, put some pressure on. If you can get those sacks and force Philly to throw the ball more and not run it, because they've been reliant on their run game so hard. That's why AJ Brown throws a fucking fit every game because he gets like 2 catches and he
Yeah.
pitches and he
Yeah.
reads on the sidelines now
Reads
because
a
he's
book on
bored.
the. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
if you could put him behind the sticks, dude, Rams could freaking take care of business. I think. I'm
Thinking
picking
about
the
this
Rams.
real quick, I saw Puka and Cooper. Excuse me, Puka and Cooper combined this week less than 80 yards.
I like that.
Wild, and look how good they looked.
Yeah.
And both of those guys didn't even have like a big game. 6 catches combined between the two of them, less than 100 yards between the two of them, and they looked awesome.
The line is 6 this week, man. Kind of disrespectful, no?
Damn. Yes.
Especially after the Eagles didn't look that hot last week. I mean, if they blew out the Packers, it's like, okay, they're at home. They just dominated last week, but they looked super beatable.
Yeah.
That seems a little high. I mean, that's all the betting, but
Yeah,
still,
but I got the Rams. Justin's got the Rams. Y'all agree?
yes, are
Fuck
Yeah.
Philly.
Fuck.
Um,
Fuck Philly, exactly.
the other we'll get. I guess we'll just go from conferences. The other NFC game, as we mentioned, Washington against Detroit. Lions minus. The line is not the Lions, but ironically, the line is Detroit minus 9.5 at home. Montgomery's going to be back. I mean, they're going to put up a 35 piece, I think.
Yeah.
It's just going to be, can Washington sprint with them the whole game?
No.
no, they're gonna get blown out, but it's still a victory for Washington.
I
Good
agree.
season.
No, definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
they shouldn't be here to the fact that they're even playing. And I will say this: I think they do cover. I think they keep it close with the garbage touchdown at the end.
Yeah.
With
I
a
think you're
garbage
Delulu.
touchdown at
They
the
can
end.
cover. They could lose by like 9
Yeah,
or 8,
it's gonna be like
something like
it's
that.
gonna be like 42 to would be 8,
God.
42 to 30 or something, or 42 to, yes, maybe 42 to 30. Two possession game, obviously, and
I'm
then
saying
Washington's gonna
no.
score a garbage touchdown for no reason.
I'm
I'm
gonna
saying
say
I'm saying no.
like 34 to like 24.
And then Dan Quinn does take the points because he bets on the spread and he hits the field goal.
He's
Uh,
gonna go for it up by 20 just to like establish dominance.
damn respect, but yeah, we'll see. Detroit, everyone back. I mean, obviously Detroit's not healthy, but at least they got Montgomery back, so their offensive weapons at least. And that's what they've been doing. They just outscore and put up 40 to win every game, which they can do it. So it's gonna be
If
that.
if the if the Lions win this week, but it doesn't look like convincing, and the Rams win convincingly, say they win by like 5. I think that's convincingly enough. Uh, are we picking the Rams to go to the Super Bowl? Maybe like
Maybe ride the hot hand,
super real
baby.
possibility.
Yeah,
Rams in Detroit would be awesome to see again this year. It'd be like a rematch from last
dude, that
year's
game was
wild
awesome.
card.
That would suck
Yeah,
though for Jared Goff to lose to the Rams again. That would be
it would.
after the
Ooh,
year they've had.
Well, they won last
well, they
year.
beat him.
Yeah,
No, but after the year they've had right now, to not make
Oh,
it to the
to
Super
lose to
Bowl,
the
like
Rams to go to the
it's
Super
just like
Bowl.
fuck.
Oh God, in Detroit too. Yeah,
that would suck. But we'll see. This week will be a good test if they can put up a dominant win, a dominant 9-point win. Um, Moving over to the AFC, probably Houston visiting the Chiefs. Obviously, Chiefs got the bye. They're all healthy, all rested. Side note, before I kind of get your guys' picks or whatever, I mean, this one I think is pretty self-explanatory. I'm betting the house on Houston for anyone that is asking. Fuck Kansas City. I don't
oh
even care.
God,
Ticket is still
God.
alive, baby. Um, did you see
So
that?
you're claiming them? You're reclaiming.
Yeah, never a shadow of a doubt, baby. Never.
Once a Stroud boy, always a Stroud boy.
Now's your chance, Joller. Take them back.
But did
Not,
you see
not we saw the
the
ref,
ticket's
dude,
still
who's
alive, baby? Let's go. You already know.
the ref who's the Chiefs have never lost with the guy refing. It's like script going
Yes,
script, dude. I'm not even watching the game. There's no point. There's no point.
I will. I was
there's
sad.
pretty much no point.
I was
Yeah.
sad because I thought the Chargers would have had a better chance to upset them. Um, Upset the Chiefs, because the Chiefs beat them twice, and like Justin always says, it's hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year. So, and the Chiefs beat the Chargers close both times. They lost by 7, or Chargers lost by 7 and lost by 2 or whatever it was because that field goal. Um, but did you guys see that someone or somewhere they were claiming the Chiefs basically threw the Week 18 game because they didn't want Cincinnati in the playoffs? Somebody says like, oh, like they're under investigation or something weird. Did you see that?
Oh, I mean,
Yeah, I saw it was
they're resting starters. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, it is what it is.
it was Bengals coach Zach, what's his name? Zach
Zach Taylor.
Bryan. It was not Zach Taylor. I'm like, there's no way he's the one who instigated that, because the headline I read was like, oh yeah, Zach Taylor. It's like some quote or something. I was like, that's fucking AI fake bullshit, dude. He's not doing that. But
I didn't read that it was Zach Taylor. I just meant like somebody said like, oh,
they were scared though, dude. They were for sure scared. You see how pressed Travis Kelsey got in the podcast. He's like, we weren't running.
Yeah.
I was like, dude,
Yeah.
you were
We'll play him in the
worried, dude.
Walmart parking lot.
it's like, bro, you'll
Dude,
get
he
shit on.
was sweating, dude, because Joey B was humming the rock, dude, and they know they don't have the juice like that anymore, and they weren't going to be able to take the stuff, dude. They couldn't do it,
Yeah.
but the Bengals suck, and we're all sad. But God, I would have literally bet the house if on that game, dude. I would have been riding so high, but woulda, coulda, shoulda is what it is.
So you're not picking the Texans.
Nah, dude, I'm not picking the Texans.
Right, with the
Chargers is
Texans,
going to
maybe.
charge her, dude. Chargers is going to charge her. It's not even a real win.
Script goes great.
Scrape going scrap, dude.
And then the final game of the divisional round is going to be Baltimore at Buffalo on Sunday. As you guys mentioned earlier, this is like the pseudo Super Bowl, if you will, without it being the Super Bowl. Which I think this game is pretty two big powerhouses that kind of play different style of games. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. The fact that it's in Buffalo, though, I think kind of makes a little bit bigger of a difference, though. That's all.
You know, I think so. Real quick, the Bills in their matchups last week, the Ravens looked more dominant than the Bills did, and the Bills are at home. So I wouldn't be super surprised if the Ravens won, but I just hope it's a close game. This is gonna be a fucking epic matchup. I just hope it's everything that we're hoping it to be, especially after last week's games just not being ultra competitive.
Yeah.
Kind of a lot of storylines for both teams, right? Like two quarterbacks who've like been really good and haven't gone the distance. Yeah, haven't gone the distance. Lamar's going to win his third MVP in like 4 years. Insane. Josh Allen having another amazing year. Both guys need to get over the hump. So I kind of feel like they have equal pressure, which I think is what makes this game good. Like in the eyes of the fans, right? I mean, Josh Allen probably more so because you're at home, but everyone knows Lamar's the MVP too. So even though you're on the road, you know what I mean? Like you're on the road, but like you guys are humming, you're the MVP. I think
they're giving the MVP to Josh this year.
What?
I think they will.
No way, dude. They can't.
I think they will.
They can't. You said a few weeks ago after Lamar's like insane game, and you're like, "That's it." I think Lamar just sealed the deal. Which
I'm not saying I agree
with
it. I'm just saying that I think that's what's going to happen. It's the same thing with like you know.
Can't. I was all on the Josh Allen MVP race, but you can't not give Lamar the MVP having a better year than when he previously won MVP. That like defeats the whole purpose. That's a totally valid argument, I think.
I don't know. If you look at last year, if you're comparing it that way, then like last year, Dak Prescott should have won MVP.
No, man, they gave Travis Hunter the Heisman. Anything can happen. Fucking knows, dude.
Right. And like, he didn't deserve
Popularity contest.
Fucking social media.
Justin Jenny, come on the pod. We'll glaze you for an hour, dude.
That's what it is, man. It's just popularity contest. And this year, they're gonna say Josh Allen won with less.
Yeah.
With no Derrick Henry is what you're saying.
Yeah. And no receiving core, pretty much.
Dude, Curtis Samuel.
Who's he throwing the ball to?
Colts and Ohio State legend Curtis Samuel.
Exactly. Nobody knows.
He's in the league still.
Oh, his jersey, baby.
Exactly. That's why I think they're going to give it to him.
I disagree.
I guess if you mean like carrying the weight of the team and like the true most valuable player, like yeah, Josh has a better narrative for that. But I mean, Derrick Henry is otherworldly. Anybody, you know what I mean? Like Lamar's played phenomenal, but like Derrick Henry is just a freak of nature. He's 31, playing like he's like
Yeah.
25 because he takes absurd care of his body and is crazy healthy.
Did you see after was it after Christmas? He wouldn't eat
Turkey leg
the
or
after
something.
game.
The what?
It was like cake or something.
Uh-huh.
They tried to like you know how after Thanksgiving they all eat the
The turkey
turkey and
leg. Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah.
After Christmas, they were doing like a cake or something, some sort of dessert
Pie or something
or
like that.
whatever. And then, yeah, or pie. They were trying to get him to eat it, and he was like, "No, no, no, I don't eat that."
Dude, he only pays his chef like two
Dude,
hundred
it's
thousand dollars a
Christmas,
year.
bro. As we're sitting on the
Yeah,
couch with like
yeah.
pumpkin
He
pie and
spends
apple
like,
pie, stuff in our face watching football.
yeah,
Fucking
he
loser,
spends
drop the
like
ball.
$250,000 every year on his body or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he, yeah, he's definitely beating the 30-year-old running back stigma. But yeah, he takes phenomenal care of his body. He could easily, I think he could play the level he's playing at least another year or two before he's even just a step below.
I mean,
He's
there's no sign of him slowing down
there's no
anytime soon.
sign, zero sign. So I mean, closing that thought, like because Derrick Henry's been so good, Lamar hasn't had to like carry the team like he has in the past, like putting his body on the line every snap, making these outrageous plays. Um, I don't know. Maybe you're convincing me Josh Allen MVP, but I still think they give it to Lamar. I think it's a wrap.
I'm like, I'm like 99% confident they give it to Josh Allen.
Damn.
What is going to be big, I think, for this game because if Buffalo, because it's not like Denver was down a lot early, because it was like what one possession game for a while until Buffalo kind of opened it up late in the third. If Buffalo can toughen up their run defense and make Lamar throw more and force more plays that need to happen with the wide receiving core, Buffalo can win this game. I mean, they held
Yeah.
the
Can they do
Broncos.
that though?
They held the Broncos to what, 70 total rushing yards, like altogether, the entire team. If they could even do that plus some, I think it still puts them in a good position.
We will
I don't
see.
know. What do you think happens?
Buffalo wins and
Uh,
they host the AFC Championship against my Houston Texans.
Oh my God. Okay, well, we all know that's just not gonna happen.
you know what? This is the first time in a long time I'm like truly split on this game.
Hope every
Like,
team, both teams have fun. That's what I really hope.
yeah, insert Rob Lowe NFL
Fun.
hat meme. I
Yeah.
just hope they both have fun. I don't know, dude. I want to say the Bills because they're at home, but I feel like the Ravens are playing really really good. Derrick Henry is just like the X factor, man. It's like, can you slow that guy down?
That's
And
what I'm saying.
no one can. And it's like I don't necessarily see the Bills slowing him down. It's but if I picture like Lamar and Josh duking it out, it's kind of like 50-50. Like I feel so split on this. It's a toss up for me.
Last week was so they scored 28 last week. That was the first week since December 1st that they scored less than 30 points.
Yeah. All right, I can't cop out. I have to pick. I'm going to pick the Bills by a hair, by a field goal.
I'm gonna pick Baltimore.
There was also a 50% chance of
I don't think they
snow.
can stop him. Oh yeah, yeah. Run game.
James
Wait,
Cook,
say that
though,
again,
low
sir?
key nice. There's a 50% chance of snow in Orchard
He
Park.
is. Yeah. I don't know, man. I just
Side note, I mean, while you're thinking, just real quick, I was just thinking about this when I was watching the Bills game. I don't know about you, but low key, I mean, James Cook obviously has looked good this year and last year. Would you back if you were starting a team from scratch? Would you have James Cook or his brother on your team? Who'd you rather?
James Cook.
Yeah, or Dalvin?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Dalvin couldn't get off the practice squad in Dallas.
I mean,
Facts.
I'm not saying currently now. I'm just saying overall.
Like in the past,
Yeah,
like what he used to be in Minnesota.
That's a dumb
He
comparison.
was he was the best he was the best running back in the league for a time. He was. He was. Who was
He was
better
just
than
always
him?
hurt.
Was it Zeke at that time? I mean, it was like him and Zeke and
Yeah, it was around that
who
time.
else?
2017 era,
You know?
2018.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, probably Dalvin in his prime.
Todd Gurley.
Dude, that dude. That guy, I saw I can't remember how old he is now, but I saw it's like some crazy number. Like he's
He's like
super young
29.
still. Yeah. I feel like he's
I,
been retired for like 10 years.
I can't remember a bigger fall from grace than Todd Gurley. All world to freaking just rip. I'm looking it up
Dalvin
right
Cook.
now.
Dalvin
Todd
Cook hit
Gurley
that.
is 30 years old.
Yeah,
August 3,
Yeah.
94. We are older than Todd Gurley. Actually, that's a dumb thing. Of course, we're older than Todd Gurley. But he's 30 right now. And he retired, what, like 3 years ago?
yeah.
So he retired at 27.
Yeah.
God damn, dude. What age? Look at Google question. What age did Gurley retire? 28.
By the way, to answer your question,
Same thing.
Dalvin Cook's best career year, he had 13 touchdowns, 1,100 rushing yards, and
God, that's it?
Joe Mixon, Josh Jacobs, Leonard Fournette, Lamar Jackson, Chris Carson, Zeke, McCaffrey, Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry all had more yards than him. Just so we're aware.
Why was Dalvin seen as like so good?
And that was his best
Was he
year.
injured? Or
He was always
1,100
injured, but
yards, that's it?
he was pretty nasty. But he could catch the ball too. But he was always hurt. So
I think his catching ability was probably the best because he can catch. He would get a lot of catches too.
yeah.
So the Bills haven't lost a home game this year.
Damn.
John
Neither other.
Harbaugh has the most road playoff wins in NFL history.
2020, Jonathan Taylor was right behind Dalvin Cook for total rush yards too. Derrick Henry still beat him. Damn, Derrick Henry's a fucking monster, dude. Fuck. He's been a monster for years. I'm still going Bills.
Yeah,
Oh man.
Bills by like a hair. Like I said, I said a
But
field goal.
but we do have some fun playoff matchups. I'm excited. But before we do go, we do have even more important game on Monday night. The Ohio State University plays.
Notre Dame by a million.
Oh my god, get the fuck out of here. You don't even believe
Dude.
that, dude. You don't even
By a
believe
million.
that. You don't
By a
even believe
million.
that. You literally don't even believe that.
You're gonna turn it off with 7.5 to go in the first quarter.
Oh man, go Bucks, baby. OH.
I'm gonna
I
go to
know.
Rise to watch it just because.
Yeah, you and Ryan live stream, dude. We want to perimeter. Hope it's like the 2012 Bama Notre Dame game where it's such a fucking blowout that
Oh my god, dude, that was the worst.
That was awesome.
That was when you knew Notre Dame didn't deserve to be there. This time, it's a little bit different.
it is a little bit different to be fair, but still, fuck them.
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
Anyways, thanks for listening. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the first round of the NFL playoffs, the wild card. One really good game, the rest were kind of meh. But we're hoping, and I wholeheartedly think that these divisional rounds will definitely be a lot closer, more competitive, I hope. So I'm excited to watch them. I actually have nothing going on this weekend too, which is more exciting. Just getting my house ready to sell since I'm moving. Yeah. Hopefully everyone enjoy some football this weekend. Stay safe if you're in the LA County or know if anyone is there. Go and watch some football and go Buckeyes, baby. You already know.
Go Buckeyes. Later, boys.